Okay. So welcome for the session. Session is about the agile transformations, and at the end we will also talk about the roadblocks. What are the roadblocks we are facing in agile transformation, right? I just want to understand from your perspective, what is agile transformation first?
Transforming an organization from waterfall to any agile methodologies or agile mindsets.
Okay. Anyone else wants to add anything or any different definitions of the transformation? It's not about moving from waterfall to agile. It's about, I mean, you use the right word, it's like the mindset, right? So it's basically a process shift or a mindset shift of an whole organization to way in a way how agile supports. It could be any framework. It's not specifically the Scrum or specifically the Safe. No, it's, and sometimes we don't have to focus on the framework as well. We have to focus on the other things. Now, what is important as an agile transformation that we have to understand, right? So there are three main factors which are helping in agile transformations, or I will say from where we have to start this. So, but before that, I just want to ask one thing: why we have to do the agile transformation? Like, what is the need? Why organizations are adopting agile transformation? Is it because it's a fascinating, or there is a different reason?
Because the market is so flexible and changing that you cannot have a fixed requirement and develop a product after years, right? You have to keep changing based on market needs. And because of that, we have to adopt agile.
Yes. And that's, there is a terminology which few of the companies are using. Okay, let's go agile. Right? So what is the meaning of go agile? Go agile means it's not, okay, let's from tomorrow onward, let's start adopting one framework, either a Scrum or a Kanban or something else, and start implementing that. That is not the meaning of go agile, and that is not the meaning of the transformation, right? So that we also understand. But before that, the important part is why we are doing, okay, what we are trying to achieve, and then we will work on the how part. But few of the organizations where the agile transformations fail, and the main reason is because they are starting with the how, and they're only focusing on the implementation part. Let's implement it, right? So to understand that, we have to just see from which areas and what kind of a transformations we can bring. So agile transformations can help in three different areas. The first thing, the digital transformation. Second is solution transformation, and third is data transformation. What is digital transformation? Digital transformation means we should use a better technologies, okay, to improve the customer experience. I will give a quick example. We have a website where if someone really want to give a feedback or want to connect with that product-based company or that organizations, they always have a contact us form, all right? And on the contact us forms, either they have a phone number or they have a email or they have a form where you have to just put your requirements and then you have to submit. But now it's digitalized. Now most of the organizations or the websites, they have bots. So you don't have to go, you don't have to call, you just directly open that bot in the website, start typing your issue or your concern or your query, and you will quickly get the response. And sometimes you don't have to go on waitings on the customer care calls for 5 minutes and 10 minutes. Might be your issue is very easy, which you can easily find in the documentation. So you just go on the board, type, and then you will get the solution. What it is, this is a transformation. This is a digital transformation. How a company change from traditional way of connecting customer to the new way of connecting customer. Similarly, there is another approach which is solution transformation. What is solution transformation? Solution transformation is just go connect with the customer and try to understand whoever using your product, right? What are the issues they are facing? What kind of improvement they are really expecting? So how we can improve the product which we are selling. And that is a solution. So we are providing some solutions. Take an example. Now, these days we have different kind of dish TVs and these things, right? The broad now these days those dish TVs and things are upgraded. Previously, there is a package of a fixed amount where you will get a fixed amount of channels, which you don't have a luxury to opt out or specifically choose one channel. But now the whole telecom industry, they understand the change and what transformation they bring. Now they give the customer to choose a specific channel, what channel they want. If they want a specific language channel, they can opt it. If they want a specific news channel or movie channel, they don't have to pay for the whole package. They can just opt it what they really want to see. And that is again a transformation. And these kind of transformations calling as a solution transformation, where we just understand what does really customer require, and then we adopt and we change ourselves. This is a solution transformation. Third one is data transformation. What is meaning of data? We everywhere hearing in these days, it's very high demand, right? Data analysts and data modifications. So what is data?
Picking up the right data and using that for the campaigns. So like we will be able to particularly take that segment of people whom we want to reach out to. I work in a data project, so they give some queries, and using those queries, they try and implement in the production. So with that, only to those people they send the push messages informing
Yes.
about their campaigns. So not everybody is sent everything. Only to that segment of people they try and push those messages. Yeah. So
Yes. See,
data-driven model.
data is key. If we talk about 10 years, 15 years back, the same story, where if someone is subscribed, we are just sending them the promotional messages, emails, notifications, calls, and stuff, right? But now we are not doing these things. Most of the companies, they are just first analyze. They will see, okay, what kind of product we are selling, what kind of customers are really who's enrolling for these things, and then only target that specific audience to get the maximum revenue. So that is the data transformation, where we have to analyze the market and the customer, running few tests to just better understanding the customers. They are doing some online campaign. Sometimes they are organizing small events at like shopping malls or on a busy streets to just collect that feedback from the customer, and then use that data to improve their product and to take a better decisions. Okay, how we can be approach a different kind of a customer. That is a data transformations. So the agile transformation, it could be happen in any of these areas. Either it's a digital, either it's a solution, or either it's a data transformations, right? This is the what where we can do that. So what we have to do is we have to first understand at organization level, when we are saying, okay, our organization is moving into agile transformation, what is the real problem which we are trying to solve? Why this organization is adopting the agile transformation? It's not like that because today everyone is want to do it, everyone is doing agile, that's why we are doing. No, we have to first understand what is the main goal we are trying to achieve. Is it data specific, is it solution specific, or is it a digital transformation where we have the main issues, where we have what we have to achieve, right? And then the next thing comes up, who owns the agile transformation? Is it one person, or is it an whole organization?
Entire organization, right?
Until organization.
From where we can start?
From the topmost level.
Who can take the ownership? The CEO?
I mean, in every level, everyone has to take the ownership, right?
Yes. So at the different level, we have different kind of things. Like technical level, the CTOs, basically the chief technical officers, they're choosing the right uh, tools, the platforms, the technologies which they can adopt it at the organization level, right? If they're doing a digital transformation. Similarly, if they're doing a solution transformation, then the financial teams, they will also go try to analyze, understand the customer needs, and then they will do it. So it's not only one person, there's a whole team who's involved, but we have to also understand from which part we are driving and from what goal. So goal specific, I will say the leadership is initiating. What is the goal? What is we are trying to achieve? Accordingly, the respective leadership is taking the ownership of that, right? Now, before talking about how we can do it, I will just try to give the few things. What are the benefits generally we are getting? We are adopting a transformation, right? The first, which we everyone know, we are getting a greater transparency, right? When we are adopting an agile transformation, the meaning of agile transformation is we will have, so basically there is no hierarchy within the agile teams, right? Whatever we are doing, it's shared. We have an open backlog, everyone can access this, so everyone knows what we are building, so that and what we are trying to achieve. The goals is also shared at the organization level, at the team level, at the program level. And anyone in the organizations, they can access the data until unless something is not specifically have certain kind of a like under the laws of, okay, it's not disclosed with the public or a specific, it's only on a kind of POC which is only going within a certain time of period, or a specific project which is under NOC, then we are not sharing. Otherwise, most of the details are shared with the organization level, right? So that is the benefit we are getting at the when we are adopting agile, the greater transparency. Second thing which we are getting is the collaboration. It improves the collaboration there. Why it improves? Because we are not having a specific hierarchy. Anyone can go reach out to anyone, try to understand, try to give their own opinions, feedback, suggestions, contribute in a different levels. We all are working as a cross-functional teams, and we are trying to understand, support in even sometimes outside our team as well. When it happens, when we are really an agile collaborative team or agile transformation organizations. So that is another benefit we are getting, the improved collaborations. Third thing, we know productivity, that is definitely increased, because when we are saying the agile means we are reaching out to customer early, we are getting the feedback, we are working on the feedback. So we are improving, we are increasing on our productivity. Okay, let's take an example. We build one let's say one hardware or a device which is running in the market for the last 5 years, and because for the last 5 years the sale is good, we're not worried about this. But we have to also adopt, we have to also see, okay, how we can improve. Now it's already 5 years and 10 years old, and every 5 years, 10 years, the technology is changed, right? So how quickly we adopt, that is helping us to increase our productivity as well. And a great example is a Nokia, right? In the traditional world, where they didn't adopt the agile transformations, and that's the reason they did not upgrade themselves. They stick to their own technologies in terms of the smart mobiles, and they didn't adopt the things how the Apple and the Android are uh, improving and growing in the market. And that's the reason they just suddenly, there was a time when there was a number one Nokia was number one in mobile sales, right? And now they are not even in top 10. So that is the thing. We have to continuously adopt the things. And another benefit is the less risk. So whenever we have these kind of a feedback, customer feedback, we are working in the iterations, we are doing inspect and adaptations, we are also analyzing the risk. We are also making some actions on the risk, right? How we can mitigate the risk, what are the risks we have if we are going in the same phase for the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, if you are not adopting, if you are not changing, what kind of feedback we are getting from the customers if you are running the similar kind of campaign. So these are the benefits we are getting. We are also having sufficient time to work on our risk, because we are connecting with the customer and we are collecting the feedback from the customer. So these are the benefits what we are getting in the agile transformations, right? Now, the important point comes is how we will do it, right? From where we can start the agile transformation. So for this, let me quickly share the whiteboard and then we will talk about. So there are 3 areas, okay, where we can do that. The agile transformation. I hope you can see my screen, right?
It's Chetan. Yeah.
You can see the whiteboard. Okay. So first is practice. Second is culture. Third is system. From where we should start the agile transformation? Okay. See, we can start from practice as well. We can start at culture as well. We can start at the system as well. But I will tell you what are the benefits and why we are starting from which one. Let's say we are starting the agile transformation at the cultural level. How we will do that at the cultural level? We'll give some kind of a coachings and trainings and we'll say, guys, from tomorrow onward, we will be agile. You guys are working in the sprint. We are getting the same cadence what we have in the agile, or if we specifically for a specific framework, let's adopt that framework and start working on that, right? So what we are trying to do is we are trying to set up some kind of a culture in the teams, and we are saying, okay, let's start with this 2 teams or 3 teams and let them work in agile way. They will do it, they will work on it, and after 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, they might be getting a good results. In the start, they start from here, they grow, but then suddenly they go down, and it's kind of these kind of things. And you know what's the reason? The reason is because we adopted the agile transformation at the cultural level, but we did not adopt it at the system level and the practice level. And now what is the issues here is, if we are starting the transformation at cultural level, is everyone in the organizations of the team where we are starting, they are excited. They're excited to work in a new way of agile way of working. They're getting a good transparency. They know, okay, now everything is shared. Now everyone in the team, they're aware of what we are doing and what are the feedback we are getting and stuff, right? But the system is not in place. They're not getting the support from that leadership. The reason because they are trying to change the cultural first. And that is the main issue. If we are only focusing on the culture at the initial level, we failed. Now, okay, let's not start with the culture. Now let's start with the second, which is practices. So we will start with the practices. How we will start the agile transformation practices? We will hire 3 agile coaches, either external from some company, or we hire on employees. We hired 3 agile coaches. These agile coaches, they will provide some kind of a trainings to the teams. They're also helping to clear some kind of a certifications. Now we did the training, we also did the certifications. Now everyone knows how we will drive it. And then what will happen? Now everyone start working according to what is these trainings and the certification taught us. From where we have to start, what kind of a different roles we have, who will be taking what responsibilities. because we learn all of these things during the trainings, during the certifications. That is when we are starting, say, certain kind of practices. Now, when you're starting a certain kind of practices, what are the issues we are getting? We are again not getting the full alignment from the system and from the cultural side, because might be people are forced to do the trainings, they are forced to do the certifications, but they are not aligned, they are not interested to do those things. And because we are focusing on the practice side, so we'll say, okay, this is a practice, how we will adopt that agile. Let's identify a certain teams, make sure everyone in the team have a certain kind of certificates, certain kind of trainings. They have to go through with the trainings, and then we are having expectations from those to be delivered. But that is again a failure if we are starting from the practices. So then from where we will start? Now the only thing which is left is system. Now, what is system? What is system in an organization? What do you guys understand from the system? You are working, right? So you in your organization, you also have certain kind of systems, certain kind of policies, certain kind of a way of working. You also work in different organizations, right? So you know in each organizations there are different kind of a way of working, the styles. That is system. That's what we are talking about. This culture of this organization is good, but they are not productive. This CEO of this organization is very friendly, but the middle layer is not that much supportive. That is also system. That is not culture. So when we are starting agile transformation, the important part, what is the benefit if you are getting if you are starting from the system first? System means we identify from where we have to start. We identify what is our goal. So first we focus on the goal. Okay, the goal is in next 6 months, we will increase our sale by 3 times. That is our goal. Now, what the system will do, system will identify where is the issue right now, why we are not able to increase the sales by 3 times. System will identify the problem first. Once we identify the problem, then they work on the solution with the help of different practices. Now, how it will help? Okay, let's take an example. How the system will help. We know we have to increase the sales of the particular product, but we can't do that. What is the issue? The issue is because the kind of current process what we have, we are not aligned with the customers. So what we will do is, let's first include a certain level of practices. Now, because we have to increase the sales, make sure most of our employees are having understanding how to interact with the customer. They can go, our sales team, our marketing team, they should also align with the customer as soon as possible. They will share that feedback with the teams. So how we will do that? That is practices. So in the practices, according to the need is increase the sales. We will introduce certain kind of trainings. Now here we are not introducing the trainings to make ourselves agile transform. We are introducing the trainings to make sure how we will increase the sales. So we have a goal and we are working towards the goal. And for that, we will identify the trainings, we identify the certificates, and then work on that. That is the practice part which we are including in the system. And then another thing is how we will include the culture. Now, because we have one goal, everyone is aligned, everyone knows, okay, we have to achieve this goal. How we can do that? What is my contribution? To make sure we have to achieve this goal, our leadership team will basically align. Basically, they align with the middle layers to say, okay, we have to achieve this goal. What you need, we will support you. If you need any kind of a cultural change, let's do it. If you want to work in a 2 weeks of sprint, let's do it. If you want to work on a save, let's do it. So here we are not adopting the culture first. We are first identifying the system, then practices, and then we are improving our culture as well. And now, because we are starting from the system, we are also make sure the senior management is also aligned with this. So when we are transforming any agile transformation, we have to first think through. And when we are doing with the system, it's going like this. It's not easy. It's slightly tough. So this is the system. This is practices. This is culture. We are starting from here. According to our need, we are adopting the practices. According to, we are changing our culture, and it's roaming around. And then that's how we are reaching our goal. So whenever you are getting an opportunity to work on the agile transformation, make sure they are starting with the right thing. Make sure they identify their goal, what they have to achieve, and in how much time they have to achieve, because that is also important. If you know in the 6 months, if we have to increase the sales, so how much effort you need in every month. And then the important part comes in the picture in the agile transformation, which I will also talk about the change which we are bringing, basically six changes which we are bringing when we are talking about the agile transformation. So that is reporting. I will talk about this as well, how the reporting will help. Till now, any questions or any queries?
No, no, Chit.
Okay, then what are the 6 areas where we have to work on? The first area is the mindset. How we can embrace the learning and the changes, right, in the team. How they were working till now in the past. What are the changes we are bringing in each individuals, and how we can do it. The shift of the mindset is really important when we are doing the agile transformation. How we can do it? Aligning at the organization level to make sure each and everyone is heard. If we are saying, okay, we are moving in agile transformation and these are the things XYZ which we are doing, make sure you're collecting the feedback at an organization level. Make sure the messages, the goals, the targets is clear to each and everyone. That's when we can do the mindset change. Next is the people. People is also the important thing. What is the meaning of people in agile transformations? Can anyone add? How a change in the people is required, or what change in the people is required?
They collaborate better towards the increment or towards the product. So that kind of the collaboration that they should have, basically team building or team collaborations.
Yes. And at the people level, the important thing is skill sets. We have to make sure we are having a right skill sets within our team, within our organizations, which we have to achieve that particular goal or target which we set. And if we don't have, so we have 2 options. Either we will give the ample amount of opportunities to the employees so that they can upgrade themselves. They will learn those skills so that they can also contribute. Or the second option is to just hire new people who are really required to achieve that particular goal. Provide some kind of a trainings, additional trainings for those people so that they will also align the transformation. So the change in the people is also required. And then the another change is the process that we all know. This informing. Okay. The another thing is the process. Instead of following any rigid workflow, or say, okay, from tomorrow onward, we will work on a 2 weeks of plan or 4 weeks of plan. Okay, that is important to align, to understand, do we really need a Scrum framework? Do we really need a Kanban framework, or we need a SAFe? Do we need a 2 weeks of sprint, or a 4 weeks of sprint, or 6 weeks sprint? So that is important. First understand, and then accordingly design your process. And don't stick to one process. Okay, we are adopting agile, let's make sure everyone is doing 2 weeks of sprint. No, in few of the programs might require a 1 week of sprint, because their requirements are changing very frequently, and they can't only commit a week of time. And there are few organizations who are, and few teams, sorry, there are few teams in the organizations, they are best suitable for Kanban, because they are dealing some kind of like customer support. So we can't say, okay, because we are agile transformations, everyone has to adopt Scrum. No, that is also, we have to identify, choose the right process for the right teams, choose the duration, iterations according to the requirement of the teams. That is also important. Another thing is the technologies. What is a better tool we can use? If we are using some kind of a project management tool, an Excel or something, can we onboard Jira? Because that is giving us some kind of a better backlogs and alignment, or some different kind of a tools. Till now, we are only connecting with, let's say, Zoom, or Google Meets. Can we adopt the new technologies like Microsoft Teams or Slack, because these are very interactive and easy to communicate. So that is, the technologies changes are also required. So that is also which we have to do it when we are talking about this. Another important area is the go-to-market. How quickly and how frequently we are aligning with the customer, talking, getting the feedback, and then inspect and adopt. Right? If we are only collecting the feedback and we are not doing a retrospective of that feedback, there is no point. So that is also an important part of agile transformations. Go to market as soon as possible. If you can go every week, release every week, every 2 weeks, that's great. Don't plan for a once in a 3-month kind of a release or something. And then the most important and last part is the measurement. If you're saying we are in the agile transformation for 6 months on a year, make sure you have a proper, you're tracking the data, how we are improving, what are the benefits we are getting from the day we adopted and till now. Let's say, okay, every month, what is the team's velocity, what is the team's burn down chart, what is the different kind of metrics, commitment of the teams, how what kind of feedback we are getting from the customer, how frequently we are releasing now and we were releasing in the past. So you have certain kind of a metrics to analyze when you are talking about any change. So these are the important areas where we have to work on when we are talking about the agile transformations. Okay, these are the things which I want to share for now. Is there anything else which you want to ask, or any queries on these things? So these are very high level. I told you, we are not going into detail as of now, but now at least you have an idea. If you are talking about the agile transformation for interviews, or if you are part of agile transformations, you know where you can contribute as a leader, right? From where we can start, from where you can ask the why. If someone says, okay, from tomorrow onward, we are moving from Scrum to Kanban, you should ask why. What is the need now? Why we are doing? All right. So that is important. If an organization is in agile transformations, is it they only are trying for a 3 months and say, okay, we tried 3 months, it's not working, now stop. Then how we can make sure they will at least try for 6 months and a year. So that is also important. Right?
Chetan, I have a question. Say, for example, we want to do a digital transformation. So, in the system level, so that will be my goal, is it? Like, I want to do a digital transformation. Then how it will, in the practice level, I will try to get new technologies for my team. Is it like that? How?
See, first you have to understand. I mean, we can't say, okay, we will have to do the digital transformations. The first you have to identify the goal. What is the goal? And then you have to achieve that goal, you will choose either your organization need a digital transformations or they need the other two, right? We can't first decide, okay, let's do digital transformations.
Okay.
You might be in organizations where you don't need a digital transformation, right? You need a data transformation because you are working a product base where your portal or website is set, but your sales are not increasing. So what you will do? The
Data.
goal is to increase the sales. How you can do that? Identify the data. What are the different kind of competitors are in the market, where we are standing as a product, how we can improve, what kind of a customer feedback we are getting, what kind of customers are really reaching out to our websites, or why they are only reaching out, they are doing all kind of a like browsing, but they are not purchasing anything. What is the issue? So you have to identify it. So if this is the goal, then instead of planning a digital transformations, first try the data transformation. All right. Digital transformations we require where we have a very legacy system, right? From a development point of view, the organization is using some old technologies, but now there are a lot of different things. Organizations still using HTML, CSS, but now there are a lot of better UI tools, right, or technologies. So why we are not leaving HTML, CSS? Why we are not adopting new? Organizations who are still working on C++, why they are working on C++? Automations, which they are using the old automation tools. In today's world, we have so many different kind of automation tools. They're spending thousands of euros to just maintenance of those old legacy codes and the systems. How we can save the cost? Let's bring a new transformation. Then you need a digital transformation. Okay, so first we have to identify what we have to achieve, and accordingly we will choose what kind of transformation is required. Okay, anything else?
How do we measure like if this is successful in an organization, the transformations? How frequently we have to measure? Or
See, as we say, we have one goal, right? So to achieve that goal, how you can do that? I will say, let's take the same example. We have to increase our sales 3 times. That is our goal. How you can do that? Can you just only measure once your goal, your sales is 3 times? No. If your target is make sure in 6 months, we will reach at the 3 times of the sales. Let's break down the smaller milestones. And let's say, okay, how we can increase our sales by 1.5 times, then 2 times, then 2.5 times, then 3 times. So if you have a goal to reach in 6 months at the 3 times, definitely after 2 months, you want to see some kind of a growth, right? You will say, okay, at least that's so whatever main goal you have some small milestones, and make sure we have a smaller timelines as well. Like every month, you have some certain kind of a small milestone you have to achieve. If you're not achieving that milestone, then do the inspect and adapt. Okay, why we are not improving? What we have to still do the change? It's not, see, agile transformation is not like a thing, okay, we finalize, we create a document, we share the document to the organization level, and then everyone is start working on that. No, we have to, that's why reporting is very important. Make sure after every iterations, after every sprint, you have to observe what kind of changes, what kind of improvements we are seeing in the team. Okay, are we really contributing at least a small part in that big goal what we have at the organization level? And if we are not, how we can work on? So we need there are different things. We have to reach at the main goal in the 6 months. We have to reach at the small milestones. Now those milestones we have to again reach at the organization level, but also at the team level. So let's say, I will say we have to reach 1.5 time of our sales in 3 months. Then we have 10 teams who are working. So make sure every team also have a certain kind of a goals. Might be 3 teams are improving, they're achieving the goals. In 2 months, they are reaching at the 1.5 time. But there are still 3 teams who are struggling. Now, what are those 3 other teams adopted? Try to do, and then try to identify the rest of the teams, why they are not improving, and then do sorry, and inspect and adapt. So that is the part. Break down your goal, small milestones, break down your most milestones from organization level to squad level, team level, and then try to achieve it. And then try to keep an eye, the monitor those things. And then you will see if you are improving or if you are not improving. Are we in the right track, or 3 months we adopted, there is no improvement, try something else. Try do the inspect and adapt as soon as possible. Then definitely you will see the change.
Okay, sir.
Okay. With this, I'm closing this. Okay. We'll see if there is any other thing. If you have, you can just reach out to me and then we will discuss. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.